Welcome in then to the latest edition of Extra Time. Jan, where are you? Jan is with us today.
I am in Manchester doing Leeds tomorrow against Manchester City, and then off to London, Arsenal, Chelsea.
Why are you not in Leeds? Oh, the game's at the Etihad.
Because I always stay in Manchester. I have that as my base.
No,
Craig.
the game's at the
Ellen Road.
Huh? Games at Ellen Road because they played early in the season and made a decent fist of it.
Yeah. But I take one extra time at a time, so it's okay, Craig.
Well, his points.
If you want any tips on bars in Leeds, I think that's the gentleman next to me had fun experience there.
I was in Leeds a year ago on a golf trip, Jan. I can tell you where to get a good pint of Guinness.
Jan, first question is about Chelsea Arsenal. Should Odegaard move away from Arsenal in the summer? If yes, what are his likely destinations?
Absolutely not. He should stay. He's a very vital player in that team. I will be so clear to say, if he doesn't get fit, they won't win the Premier League, because I think he's very important for them to find that balance in midfield. Very important for them.
So is he not playing now because he's not fit?
I don't think he's 100% fit, and you have the luxury then you can play with the guys who are in there. You don't have to let him play.
Can't even say Eze's name. Can't even say Eze's name.
Oh, Eze, I love Eze.
No.
Eze
You can even say it.
By the way, he can't even say.
Of course I can.
He can't even admit Odegaard's dropped. By the way,
Craig, take down your Declan Rice poster. Come on.
Listen, as someone who is genuinely quite excited about how Norway will play at the World Cup, because I think they're a very strong side, and we saw Bodo Glimt do something similar in the Champions League. How worried would Solbakken and Norwegian fans be if Martin Odegaard's time was limited at Arsenal between now and the end of this season?
I think we can take it so far to say, Craig, that we've been very good in the qualification to kind of cover all the weaknesses. But I think if Ståle Solbakken, he will go into church every day to pray for Martin Odegaard and Erling Haaland. He is decisive. We can say we have a lot of talents going forward, but we can't underestimate how important these two players are for us. And hopefully he will be finished with his injuries now, but that is of course worrying because we are so depending on him.
But Jan, what happens if Odegaard's on the bench for the majority of the games now between now and the end of the season?
I don't think.
Well, he still plays for Norway.
No, I was moving on or moving back, but I was moving away from Norway. But looking at his future, will there not be part of him thinking, "Wow, I need to move on"?
No, because I think that is the strength of Arsenal. I mean, you feel that's. There is some bonds between these players, and Martin is a very important player there. And this season he's been a bit injuries. Remember, this kid started when he was 15. He has already had a very long career. He's played all over the place, and at the moment it seems that he don't get that out of his system. But he has his future at Arsenal, so I don't think there's any chance that he will leave in this summer. He loves it to be at Arsenal.
How many English teams reached the quarterfinals? More or less than 3, Jan?
Oh, then we have to remember the bracket.
Okay, so
who's Tottenham got?
Tottenham got Atleti.
Yeah, they're going out.
They're going out.
Oh,
here we go.
No, this is really helpful. What a big mess. Right. Arsenal, Liverpool got Galatasaray. Why didn't you just show the graphic? That would have been the bracket. That would have been a lot easier than this.
Arsenal is
we know who the favourites are. We want to see who's
out.
playing who. We want a reminder, not this. Okay.
Are you talking?
I'm talking to producer Pete.
Okay. I thought you talked to your wife.
I would definitely not speak to her like that,
if we talk to here we go. Because we could have had the chance
Chelsea
that we have Chelsea and Liverpool in a quarterfinal, so that will help. I say we get two teams.
Just 2?
Yeah.
Arsenal and Liverpool.
Yes. Arsenal, Liverpool. Okay. Arsenal, Liverpool. We'll go there.
I think we get 3. I think Man City squeak through.
Okay.
Against them.
Do you think so? Yeah.
Well,
maybe. Yeah.
I mean, we're watching Real Madrid every week and covering the Liga, and they are not. They have not. I mean, they've got Mbappe, and Vinicius is playing a bit better. But you should have. I don't know if you saw the Benfica game again. They were.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
They were kind of a little fortunate in that game again. So, yeah, that's a very tight one. Liverpool have played Galatasaray already this season. That was the the Szoboszlai penalty that he gave away. I can't remember what the score was, but just because of the way Liverpool are playing, that game isn't a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
I know Galatasaray are a great side, even though they beat Inter. They're not.
Right.
But Liverpool have been pretty bad this year, haven't they?
Yes.
Well, yeah. Now I think Liverpool will get better and better. I think Liverpool will knock out Galatasaray. I saw them against I saw them against Juventus. I mean, the first game they had a kind of flow in that home game. There wasn't a 5-2 game, but still, I think Liverpool will be okay.
Curious as to what the guys think. With the World Cup on the horizon, did Craig have that in the back of his mind for the first few months of the regular season? Did it impact your decisions to play? Did you look after yourself more, basically?
No, because we were under that pressure cooker of going for a title at Celtic. Right. And it just so happened to put the year that Rangers were going for a historic 10th title in a row. So the supporters were frothing at the mouth because it was going to make history and not in Celtic's favour. And it went to the last game of the season. So there was no time for rest or feeling sorry for yourself because it was all hands to the pump. Simple as that. Yeah. Plus we won the League Cup that year. We got to the semi-final of the Scottish Cup. We played in Europe in the UEFA Cup against Liverpool. So it was a busy year. But as much as you do think about injuries, when you're playing under that pressure, you know, the weekend, the midweek, the weekend again, and you're all in it because they're breathing down your neck. So you don't have time to say, "Hey, Gaffer, do you mind if I have a rest for a couple of weeks?" Because you're under so much pressure at your club.
Yeah, and where were you ahead of the World Cup?
Yeah, I will say because I was struggling in Swindon. We were in the Premier League, and I was desperate for us to be a part of the 1994 World Cup. And this is the 1993-94 season. So I was not playing regularly for Swindon Town at that time. So I arranged to go on loan back to Norway because I knew I had to play to even be in the squad. I mean, because we had a national coach, there was no chance that he will give any free passenger going over there. So, and then I signed a deal with Lillestrøm, and then I scored against Ipswich at the FA Cup, and then I scored against Tottenham in the Premier League. And thing worked out, and I had to cancel that contract back in Norway. But as Craig is saying, the only thing maybe that the injury, you can't think of that because you're on or off. If you think of injuries, you will be injured. That is a clear thing, you know, when you go into that. But maybe you look after yourself even more. I was quite good at doing that. But maybe when you in a season like this, you know that at the end of the road, there is this highlight of World Cup. Maybe you're looking even more after yourself.
I just did a quick count there of what I would have said would have been, as a general rule of thumb, the starting 11 for Celtic. 9 of them went to the World Cup.
Right.
Not all with Scotland.
Wow.
Yeah. Reaper and Vikos went with Denmark.
Yeah, we don't need the list.
Yeah, I'll give you the list.
All right, I don't.
It was 9 of the 11 in a general week went to the World Cup. There you go.
What are the 2 best Champions League matches on the same day at the same time?
What's happening with them?
So Real Madrid and City and Paris and Chelsea are both on Wednesday at the same time, which just... But it's all money, isn't it all money?
Yeah, it's probably money, but it's funny because when we used to have the draws and every round have the draws, and now when you do the draws, you hear this beep, 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 beep. It's like Star Wars sound back in the 70s and 80s, and we have no clue how they kind of do this. And of course, that's not good. You like to have spread over the days because you want to enjoy them. But I guess money got a thing to do with it.
Because they want it at prime time. That's what it is. Like, you imagine the playoffs. Imagine NFL playoffs, 2 games playing at the same time. It's just ridiculous.
They never do that.
Of course not.
They split the times, don't they?
Absolutely.
Not just the days.
Yeah, because they think, maybe people want to watch both of these matches instead of having to choose one.
Yeah.
But there we are. That's never going to change because they want to make the most money. Jan, Bodo lost the league title to Vikings by 1 point in the recently finished domestic season. Does that mean Vikings are the greatest football team of all time?
Viking is the best team in the world. Imagine how much they would have won against Inter.
Yeah.
Imagine if they got Sporting Lisbon, they would have 5-0. I mean, that is unbelievable. Bodo Glimt is not even the best team we're having. For the first time in 1,000 years, we're going to send out the Vikings again, and we know what happened then. We conquer the world.
What's happened to Rosenborg? As somebody who doesn't really look at the Norwegian league table, what's happened? Do you remember Rosenborg used to be the team that they had these great Champions League results, and then people used to sort of henpeck their players?
Yeah, for those who don't remember, they played in the Champions League 11 or 12 seasons. Yeah. They had a coach called Nils Arne Eggen, which was he's a legendary Norwegian coach, and a bit like Manchester United or Werder Bremen and Otto Rehagel, a manager is staying there forever. And then you, what, should we go for a copy? Should we go for the total different thing? And then slowly they're losing games, they're losing money, and then they want to go back to the philosophy. Just a fun fact, Bodø Glimt and Rosenborg are very similar in the way they play. It's also similar in the way that there are 9 of 11 players are Norwegians, and just 1.5, maybe 2 players of them will play for the national team, as was Rosenborg. And the last fun fact, every Rosenborg player that went abroad, except Jon Carew, who had good success when he went abroad, they didn't have success abroad. And that's the same with the Bodø Glimt players, because they're so into this way of playing, I think. You see the captain, Patrick Berg, went to France and played there for 5.5 minutes and coming back and now playing Champions League. Same with Hauge, went to AC Milan, winning the Europa League with Frankfurt. So they are gone.
Well, I was telling Dan the other day, but when we signed Harold Brattbach, he was scoring a lot of goals for Rosenborg, and he did okay at Celtic. But and then it was like this. You'll not even know this one. I played
scored a deciding goal, didn't he, Craig?
Yeah,
scored a deciding goal.
Yeah, that was that season I was talking about the last game of the season. He did score that goal, so he'll be remembered for that. I played with a lot. See, when you think about it, I played with a lot of Norwegian players. There was another one, Bjorn Otto Bragstad.
Wow.
Yeah. Rosenborg as well. Rosenborg as well.
There we go. All right.
Oh my God, all the Norwegian.
Okay, last question. Let's go on. Should you stumble upon a DeLorean that can go back in time, which year would you be returning to? Would you do 98?
What do you mean?
So you can go back to any year you want. 98, World Cup, Celtic. That's a good year.
That was a good year.
Yeah?
That was a very good year.
Yes.
It was a very, very good year.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
I mean, like, on and off the pitch.
There you are. See, I thought you might like to go back there.
1971.
Why?
I was 1.
You're growing your first teeth. You're excited. Didn't last long. Jan?
Well, it wasn't.
I think it was 96, 93, 94, 96 season when we went from Middlesbrough, when we came there, the optimism, going from Ayerson Park, going into Riverside Stadium. First game of the season, we beat Chelsea 2-0. I scored a buzz-aldering goal. I was the second one. And it was a fantastic time, and we got all the players in. We got Juninho in. And then, unfortunately, we got Ravanelli in, and then I was off. But that is another story. I left. I was leaving there. But going back to that period, that was a fantastic time.
Yeah, very good. All right, great stuff.
They're going up, Borough.
They are going up. Yeah, looks like
but the 2 home games now, and I couldn't win.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
1999, I think I go back to. First year of university. That was a lot of fun. Or 2005, first year in Madrid. That was also a lot of fun. That's it. That brings us to the end of today's show. ESPN FC returns tomorrow.
I should stayed there.
Well, there we are.
Other one with the ball.
So which Celtic internationals went to the World Cup?
That's 9.
Yeah, send me a mail.